Frederick Keys Baseball is brought to you by Beckley's Camping Center, located on Route 15 north of Frederick. We're your full-service RV dealer. Burdette Brothers Pontiac, let us help you drive excitement in a new Bonneville or Firebird. Coors Light, it's the right beer now, locally distributed by Irwin Distributing of Frederick. Frederick Gas, gas is your best energy value. And by Tate Chrysler Plymouth, your Frederick minivan headquarters. Let Tate be your best auto experience. Live from Harry Grove Stadium in Frederick, Maryland, you're watching Frederick Keys Baseball on Frederick Cable Channel 10. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Wachter, along with Kevin Heilbronner, the radio voice of the Frederick Keys on 82Q, one of the two radio voices. And we'll bring you all the action tonight of Game 2 of our doubleheader between the Frederick Keys and the Lynchburg Hillcats. The Keys dropped the first game of the Twin Bill 5-3. And Kevin, a very costly error by the Frederick Keys cost them that first game.
Yeah, and a drop third strike, throw down to first base, sailed into right field. That was with 2 outs, and then Jay Knobloch came up, hit a 3-run home run, and that provided the difference for the Lynchburg Hillcats.
So Lynchburg now in second place. They have sole possession of second place in the Northern Division of Carolina League. Wilmington is in first place. The Keys lose some ground on them, and they're in third place now. So a very important second game here as well.
Yeah, they lost a half a game. Wilmington lost last night, and this game actually counts in last night's standings, if you will, going back. But second game of a doubleheader of sorts, and the Keys need to get back to 500, which would set Lynchburg at 500 and keep the teams both 6 out, depending on what Wilmington does in tonight's ball game. They are at Kinston, and they're a tough ball club. So the Keys can hope for the best down there and try and do their best here tonight, pick up a win in Game 2.
Jason Rogers is on the mound for the Frederick Keys. Rogers, a left-handed pitcher. And he misses on the first pitch to Adrian Brown. Brown batting .313 with 1 home run and 10 runs batted in. Grounds it to short. David Lamb makes the throw to Chris Kurgan, and there's 1 out here in the first inning. So Adrian Brown is retired as David Lamb made the play there at short, and that'll bring up Raul Rodarte. On the year, Jason Rogers 1-3 with a 4.55 earned run average. This is just a 7-inning game here this evening as we completed the suspended game from last night. Picked up the action in the bottom of the 5th inning. Score was 2-0, and Keys ended up losing 5-3. So Game 2 will be just a 7-inning game.
Lynchburg put on their batting practice tops for this ball game. It is, in fact, the same team we saw about a half hour ago. They just changed uniforms.
And a pop-up to the left side. Tommy Davis makes the play, and that's out number 2. So 2 quick outs recorded by Jason Rogers and the Keys. Rogers has appeared in 14 games, 13 of those in relief. Did make 1 appearance out of the bullpen, and that was the last time he pitched. That was July the 28th against Winston-Salem. Pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 base hit, no runs, walked 1, didn't strike out anybody, and did not get a decision in that 6-5 15-inning game that the Keys won against Winston-Salem. Charles Peterson, the right fielder, is the number 3 hitter. Peterson batting .274 with 6 home runs and 47 runs batted in. And there's the strike. Wild pitch by Rogers. That got away from him.
Yeah, that one just slipped out of his fingers. You know, he perhaps didn't get the grip on the ball because it is humid out, very hot out there. He's going to be looking for a rosin bag in a moment. That was up there. Jason has been battling some arm problems. I don't think we saw evidence of it there, but this is an important start for him.
And a strike 2. The count is even. 2 outs in the top of the first.
Yeah, see, as you can see, that one just slipped, and Jason wipes his hand off there. It comes right back with a strike.
And the count is full. Rogers hasn't started a game in about 3 weeks. His last start was July the 12th against Wilmington. Took a loss in that game, only lasted 3 innings. Allowed 4 hits and 3 earned runs.
Home plate umpire Dan Asagna picked up the ball, looked at it, rubbed it up, and brought it back to him. We've seen here 2 attempted breaking balls by Rogers. One misses high, the other misses low. So that may be slow to come around here in this game.
Peterson pops it up in foul ground. Foster and Kurgan giving chase near the Keys dugout. And the play is made. Jim Foster makes the catch to record the third out, and Chris Kurgan can just go on into the dugout. 1-2-3. Down 1-2-3 go the Lynchburg Hillcats. Let's watch this one again.
One of the most dangerous parts of the ballpark. It's right by the dugout, and they were tiptoeing over. Foster, we get a look at. He's pointing at it. Now, Kurgan calls for it. There's the corner of the dugout, very dangerous. And watch Chris Kurgan jumping over Foster. He makes a grab, and I'll tell you, that was barely missing knee and a head, and both of them are okay. Jim Foster, sigh of relief there. Nice play, nice concentration.
So good start for Jason Rogers as he gets the Lynchburg Hillcats 1-2-3 as Lamb and Foster and Mike O'Berry and Tommy Davis talking about that last play maybe in the dugout as the Keys will bat in the bottom of the first inning against Cullen Hartzog.
I talked about Jay Nabla earlier, being the veteran cannon, played AAA ball. Well, Cullen Hartzog was his teammate on that 1990 ball club. He has got a second life in this league as well.
All right, let's take a look at the Beckley's Camping Center batting order for the Frederick Keys. Harry Barrios leads it off. David Lamb, the shortstop, bats second. Roy Hodge is batting third and playing right field. Jim Foster's the cleanup hitter. Tommy Davis bats fifth. Jason LaCronier is in left field again in game 2. He bats sixth. Chris Kurgan is starting game number 2 and playing at first base. Rolando Avila is the center fielder, and he's in action here in the second game of the Twin Bill. And Jesse Garcia is the number 9 hitter in the lineup. And Garcia again playing at second base.
Well, we're not seeing Haro Cabrera in this game either. And, well, perhaps tomorrow, 4 o'clock game, we'll see Haro. He's got a tremendous arm. We saw him a little earlier in the season. And I mean, as much as I'm a Jim Foster fan, love to see Haro out there, see what he can do defensively. Maybe DH Jim, because he hits about 400 when he DHs. Let's take a look at what the Hillcats have defensively. Reed Seacrest in left, Adrian Brown in center, Charles Peterson in right. It hasn't changed since game 1. Ken Bonifay at first, Eddie Brooks at second, Luke Collier the shortstop, Raul Rodarte at third. And it's Cullen Hartzog on the mound with Marcus Hannell behind the plate. And Jeff, what we didn't mention in the beginning of the ball game, Tommy Robertson is the only reserve for the Lynchburg Hillcats. And Cullen Hartzog for the Lynchburg Hillcats making his first start of the season. It'll be his 35th appearance, 3-2 with a 2.49, and the opponent's hitting .210 against him.
Barrios is down a strike as the Keys begin their half of the first inning. Hartzog last pitched on the 2nd of August against Kinston out of the bullpen. 1 inning, allowed 2 hits and no runs. And there's a strike. 0-2 to Harry Barrios. It'll be Barrios, Lamb, and Hodge here in the first inning for the Keys. Lynchburg won game 1 5-3. And a strike 3. No complaint from Barrios as he heads back to the dugout. Cullen Hartzog gets the first out.
Cullen Hartzog is a veteran. He hasn't had much success against the Keys this year. 0-1 with a 4.50 in 5 relief appearances. But Hartzog comes right back here with an 0-2. Let's see if we can pick up the pitch. It looks like he's gripped a curveball, and he does. That's a beautiful pitch, and Harry Barrios knew it.
Froze Barrios. Not much he could do with that one. So 1 out in the bottom of the first, and David Lamb, the switch-hitting shortstop, comes up. And Lamb takes a strike. David batting left-handed, of course, against the right-handed pitching Cullen Hartzog. Fouls it off to the left side. In game 1, David Lamb 1 for 3, and a run batted in.
Stands have filled in a little bit more as we're past our normal game time. We started this at 7:39, second game here, 7-inning ball game, and pretty good crowd tonight. Hopefully the weather will cooperate with us.
Inside to Lamb, 1-2. Mostly cloudy right now. They don't look like rain clouds as of yet, but there is a chance of a thunderstorm this evening. As you take a look. 2 balls balls and 2 strikes to David Lamb. He's trying to get back on the winning track. Need this game. If they win this one, they'll be even with Lynchburg once again. Tomorrow is the last meeting of the season between these two teams. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Collier can't get it. Over his glove and into center field. So David Lamb continues to have a hot bat as he bounces it into center field for a base hit.
Good at bat by David Lamb. He saw 5 pitches in the number 2 spot. You want to take a few to show the middle of the order what Hartzog has. Cullen tried to jump up and get that ball. About 4 years ago he may have been able to get that ball. He's put on a few pounds since then, but well, here we're going to see it.
David Lamb now with 8 base hits in his last 22 trips to the plate. As you see the base hit right there. Lamb aboard with 1 out.
Just out of the reach of Collier, who made a nice play in game 1.
Roy Hodge is the number 3 hitter in the Keys lineup. Hodge hitless in game 1, 0 for 4. Off-speed pitch, nips the inside corner, so it's 0-2 to Roy Hodge. Pitch out, throw down to first. Back safely is David Lamb.
Lamb not too much of a threat to steal, but you would perhaps see the Keys try and get a hit and run here with Hodge. Terrific contact hitter, can go the opposite way easily.
Hodge batting close to 300 with the Keys this year. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Roy.
Just got a little piece of that one, fouled it right into the chest protector of Hanel. Shakes out his hand there. May have caught him on the elbow.
Hodge has 1 home run as a Frederick Key in 1995 and 8 runs batted in. It's only the 21st game he's played in, and Roy will go down on strikes. 2 strikeouts for Cullen Hartzog. That brings up Jim Foster with 2 outs in the first. And David Lamb still aboard at first base. Conference on the mound as the 3rd baseman, Raul Rodarte, goes over to have a word with his starting pitcher. Hartzog 6'2", 215 pounds. He'll be 26 in November. Veteran pitcher. Foster takes a ball 1.
I'm guessing that was his signing weight. It looks like he's put on a few since then. He is from Panama City Beach, Florida, which was not hit by the hurricane, although some of his father's houses that he built were, unfortunately. His father's a contractor down there, and they just finished 2 homes, and unfortunately, I believe the roofs were torn off, and so they've got a little bit of work to do. But luckily, you know, for Cullen and his family, no problems down there.
Foster, a line drive to left, playable for Sechrist. And he makes the catch to end the first inning. The Keys get a base hit in the first, but fail to score at the end of 1. There's no score here at Harry Grove Stadium. Welcome back. We head to the top of the 2nd inning. The Keys and the Hillcats scoreless. Due up the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Lynchburg, and that means Jay Nobla, Lou Collier, and Reed Sechrist.
Looking at some of the expensive seats. That was the Keys Cafe before.
There's Coyote, the Keys mascot, entertaining some youngsters.
He's got to be hot. Good family show going on here tonight. See if the Keys can pick up a win in game 2.
This is a 7-inning game. These 2 teams have already completed last night's suspended game. The Hillcats won that 5-3. Jason Rogers is on the mound for the Keys, making his first start since July 12th. Jason looked good in the first inning, getting the Hillcats 1-2-3. 2 pop-ups and a ground out. He'll face the cleanup hitter Jay Nobla. What a game Nobla had in game 1, 2 for 4 with 34 runs batted in, including a 3-run homer. He accounted for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th runs with that home run. That was the difference in the game as the Hillcats won by 2. Right-handed swinger takes a ball 1 from Jason Rogers. Rogers stands 6 feet, 6 inches tall, 215 pounds, from Reno, Nevada. 22 years of age is Jason Rogers, the Orioles' 3rd pick in the 1994 draft. Last year pitched with Bluefield, had a 1-2 record and a 2.31 ERA. Knobloch lifts a fly ball foul to the right side.
Pitched at University of Nevada at Reno.
2 balls and 1 strike is the count to Jay Knobloch. Strike on the outside part of the plate. 2-2. The count is now full. The Hillcats 54 and 56 overall. 21 and 20 in the second half. They lead the Keys by a game now. Count remains full.
2 straight changeups there, and Knobloch getting Rogers to work hard.
Rogers wasting no time. Knobloch stays alive as he fouls it off. On the year, Jay's put up some pretty good power numbers. 65 games, has 8 home runs and 34 runs batted in. Grounded to Tommy Davis. Good glove work. One hopper gets past Kurgan. So Knobloch is a base runner. He'll go to second base.
Yeah, Tommy had to hurry. Knobloch's got some speed. That's why he's playing in, or well, still playing after 5 years of being here in the Carolina League. We'll get another look at it. And it's a hot shot to third. Tommy, as you can just see, he got it with his glove, stopped it with his chest. And Tommy throws a one-hopper that just handcuffs Kurgan with Knobloch coming into first. They're going to give him a base hit on that. And they will give him an error that moves to second. Moves him to second, rather, so hitting an error on that play.
And a bunt by Luke Collier goes foul. Now let's take a look at the Hillcats batting lineup. Leading off is center fielder Adrian Brown. The second batter is Raul Rodarte. Batting third, Charles Peterson. Cleanup hitter Jay Knobloch, who is aboard at second base. Luke Collier is the batter right now. He's 5th in the lineup. Reed Sechrist bats 6th. Eddie Brooks is 7th. Ken Bonifay 8th. And Marcus Handel is the number 9 hitter. Batting order sponsored by Beckley's Camping Center, your full service RV dealer. Back to live action. Luke Collier, the batter, with no outs in the top of the second inning. Knobloch credited with an infield hit, reached second on a throwing error by Davis. Good bunt by Collier. Davis puts it in his hip pocket. Down to third goes Knobloch, and Collier is aboard with a base hit.
Yeah, perfect bunt right there. Nothing Tommy Davis can do, and Collier's got some good speed. Here we go. Collier not showing as if he would for a sacrifice, bunting for a base hit all the way. And Tommy, nice grab there, bare hand. That's a tough play when you're running full speed, and he did the right thing. He held on to it this time.
So runners at the corners with no outs in the second, and Reed Sechrist, tough customer at the plate. Sechrist was hitless in game 1. But Reed has hit very well against Keys pitching in 1995. 1-0 from Jason Rogers. Sechrist, a left-handed swinger.
Still looking for his first hit in the month of August.
Had a big July. He was named the Player of the Month by Topps.
Jason having a little trouble with his fastball. Here comes Larry McCall to talk to him about it.
Rogers had a good first inning, got the Hillcats 1-2-3, but has given up 2 hits here in the second inning. And is struggling with his control against Reed Seacrest. There you see McCall, McKee's pitching coach. Jim Foster, David Lamb, and now Jesse Garcia joining the meeting.
Rogers not pitching regularly, got a big chance to work out on his conditioning. You do a lot of running, and that's so important in pitching. So Jason should be in pretty good shape. Take a look at what the Keys have out on the field behind Jason Rogers. And I believe we're going to take a look at that after this next pitch to Reed Seacrest.
3-0 from Rogers. And there he gets the strike.
Poised and throws a nice changeup. Jason Lacronier out in left, Roy Hodge in center, Harry Barrios in right again. Now at first base, it's actually Chris Kurgan, Jesse Garcia at second, Lamb and Davis, then Rogers with Jim Foster behind the plate.
Jason Rogers starting today because Bo McGee was promoted from the Keys to the Bowie Bay Sox.
Sent back up.
Pitched 2 games here in Frederick, both victories. 3-1 is ball 4, so the sacks are full. Rogers a little rusty.
And the Keys have got Matt Marenghi up in the bullpen, the right-hander who was a starter earlier in the year.
Boy, he's pitched great out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he's been fantastic out of the bullpen. He did a lot of it last year. We were talking a couple days ago, and seems like it is his forte. We would have liked to have seen that from the beginning of the year.
11 innings, I believe, and only has allowed 1 run. So Eddie Brooks is up with the bases loaded and no outs in the second. And another ball from Jason Rogers.
I'll tell you, if you're a left-handed pitcher, as Jason is looking right at the Keys bullpen, that doesn't make you feel too good to see they've got a reliever up in the second inning. Nice looking pitch.
1 ball and 1 strike now. Jay Nobla is at third base. Lou Collier had a bunt single. He's at second. And Reed Seacrest, who walked, is at first. Upstairs, 2-1 to Eddie Brooks, the number 7 hitter in the lineup. No score. He's looking to get even tonight as the Hillcats won game 1. Ball 3. So Rogers now 1 pitch away from walking in a run. So he'll step off the mound. Chris Kurgan will make a visit.
That is his 20th pitch of the inning. He's now got 30. There's still no outs here in the second. I saw a drop of rain on our window. I don't know if that just came from upstairs or perhaps we have some weather coming from behind us. Doesn't look like it's raining outside, though.
And ball 4. So Rogers has walked in a run. Nobla will score to make it 1-0 Hillcats. Down to third goes Lou Collier. Reed Seacrest advances to second. Aboard on the walk is Eddie Brooks. So the sack's still full with nobody out, and now left-handed swinger Ken Bonifay coming up. So it'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. You see the base runners.
A double play can get him right out of a jam, though.
Line drive. Kurgan snares it. Steps on the bag. A double play. Just what the doctor ordered.
Wasn't the most conventional of double plays, but a fantastic play by Chris Kurgan, and those are the balls that are so close to becoming triple plays. He was right next to the bag. Nice job.
Still 2 runners aboard. Collier at third and Seacrest at second. They alertly got back. But Eddie Brooks is out. Ken Bonifay lines out to first baseman Chris Kurgan. 2 gone here in the second, and a strike to Marcus Hanel. That's the kind of play that can give the pitcher some confidence. Marcus Hanel hit a home run in game 1. Rogers misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hanel 1 for 4 in game 1.
Got to go after that number 9 hitter here with 2 outs.
Fouled off. Adrian Brown is on deck. Brown is a switch hitter. either way, with first base open, Rogers would face a right-handed batter next. Ground ball up the middle. Garcia makes the play, has to hurry. In time to Chris Kurgan. And Jason Rogers gets out of a jam. He did give up one run, but was in trouble with the bases loaded and nobody out. A good defensive play by Chris Kurgan helps out the Keys pitcher. At the end of an inning and a half, it's Lynchburg 1, the Keys nothing. The Keys are behind 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Hello there, Keys fans. I'd like to welcome our viewers watching in Carroll County, Prestige Cable. Catching all the action here on Cable 10. I'm Jeff Wachter, along with Kevin Heilbronner, one of the radio voices of the Frederick Keys on 82Q, who's filling in for Paul Merrill, who has the night off. Keys looking to get some runs here in the bottom of the first as they trail by 1. Tommy Davis will lead it off, and then Jason Lacronier and Chris Kurgan against Cullen Hartzog, making his first start of the year.
Hartzog, a late addition to this ball club, signed just after spring training began by the Pirates, former Yankee farmhand, and Jason Rogers gets out of a big jam. Could have been a lot worse, only 1-0.
Davis fouls off the first pitch. In game 1, Tommy with 1 hit and 3 trips to the plate. 27 hits in his last 91 at-bats. Right around the 300 mark. Tommy lately. On the year batting .275. There's a strike 2. Davis has been in the top 10 in the Carolina League in batting average several times. Just dropped out in the last couple of days. And he fouls it off. The count continues 0-2.
I mentioned that Tommy has been everything that the Orioles expected him to be. He's played in all games, all 104 games, now 105, that the Keys have played, and the farm directors and the brass love to see that.
Strike 3 called. Number 3 for Cullen Hartzog. That's the first out in the second inning. Crowd didn't like the call. Neither did Tommy.
He's still talking to Dan Asagna about it.
Asagna is the home plate umpire in game 2, and Jerry Lloyd is on the bases. Jason Lacronier steps in. A line drive to the right side and a base hit. Laying it off the wall is Charles Peterson. Lacronier headed for second. He slides in safely with a 2-bagger.
Peterson misplayed that ball and right. He would have had Lacronier at second. There was a very good chance he would have, because Jason was rounding first just as Peterson had the ball, but Lacronier had an error earlier. Comes back here, strokes the first pitch. He left it about letter high, did Hartzog, and it's drilled into the right field corner. And let's see if we can see Charles Peterson plays it off of Karam and drops the ball. There it is. So had he not dropped that ball, it would have been a close play at second, but Lacronier's there. It's a double all the way.
So 1 out and a base runner at second, and Chris Kurgan outside for a ball. Kurgan has knocked in 42 this year. That's second on the Keys' current roster.
Second double for Lacronier.
Jason had his 7-game hitting streak snapped in game 1 as he went 0 for 4. And starts a new one here in the second inning. He represents the tie run. Kurgan did not play in game 1. Rounds it to the right side. The second baseman Brooks throws out Chris Kurgan, but he does his job advancing Jason Lacronier down to third base.
See if Rolando can drive him home here. We tie this ball game up. Keep it close for Jason Rogers, who had a rough second inning.
The potential tie run just 90 feet away with 2 outs in the second. Avila drills it to deep left field. Sechrist going back near the fence. It's off the wall. LaCronier is home with run number 1. Avila into second base with a double, and the Keys have tied it at 1.
Rolando went after the first pitch as well, and we're tied up. And Rolo, who keeps himself in great shape, got a shot of his forearms there when he came up to the plate. A small player, but I'll tell you, he is in fantastic shape. Look at those arms. Here's Rolando. Now the pitch was about waist high, not as high as the one LaCronier swung at, and it almost had a chance of going out there, and just off the top of the wall, off the Wonder Book sign. Sechrist played it well.
Avila jumped all over that pitch, and the Keys have tied it. The go-ahead run is at second base with 2 outs, and Jesse Garcia to the plate. Takes a ball 1. Garcia batting .216 with 3 home runs on the year. Had the game-winning home run Wednesday night as the Keys defeated the Durham Bulls. Fouled off. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Avila had just 1 hit in his last 14 trips for that run-scoring double. Rolando hits well with runners in scoring position. I think .267. That's his 10th RBI. Gets away from the catcher, but Avila holds on at second base. Rolando with a lot of speed. 12 steals in 16 attempts here at Frederick. At High Desert, the Orioles' other Class A team in the California League. 19 of 27 stolen bases for Rolo.
He leads the Oriole minor leaguers in stolen bases coming into this week.
Garcia lost his bat.
There it is. That one a little farther than the ball. If he did foul that ball, so Rolando's going to stay at second.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Jesse, and he'll get a new bat as Harry Barrios. Well, he'll keep the bat.
Get the pine tar.
Get a better grip there.
Yep.
Garcia, a right-handed swinger from Robstown, Texas.
Jeff, there's Jim Bibby, the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. We just saw him. Former big leaguer for the Pirates. Pitching coach of this Lynchburg team. He lives in Lynchburg in the off-season and worked for the Red Sox for so many years and wanted to stay in Lynchburg, and the Pittsburgh Pirates hired him back.
Just missed. The count is full. Jesse Garcia with Avila at second. 2 down. Garcia stays alive. Jim Bibby once again.
Terrific guy, too. Great to talk to. He's very fan-friendly. He was in the bigs. See how big those hands are. He can put a baseball in between each hand. He can hold 5 baseballs in his hand. It's 5 or 7. I think he was in the Guinness Book of World Records. Those things are huge.
Now back. The count remains full. Fans battling for a foul ball.
Get him some baseballs.
Maybe with mitts.
He didn't wear a glove when he was playing some. No, he did.
Didn't need a glove.
Great guy.
Time is called. Count is full to Jesse Garcia with Avila at second base. Keys have tied it here in the second. As LaCronier and Avila had back-to-back doubles. Jesse lifts a fly ball to the right side. First baseman Bonifay gives it a look, but it's out of play. Another souvenir for somebody.
The kids coming over into the seats. It's a dangerous area over there in that scrum. That foul ball. Foul balls. We talked about, there's Rolando Avila. We talked about quick hands. Jesse Garcia, who's at the plate now, and I'm sure you've mentioned it before, a Gold Glove boxer, former Gold Glove boxer, 52-3 or 53-2. Garcia's got some quick hands, too.
Just missed the Olympic trials.
Yep.
By one bout, one win. Runner goes to third. Pitch is taken for a ball. Avila safe at third base. And Garcia is aboard with a walk. So Rolo gets stolen base number 13 for the Frederick Keys, and number 32 on the year.
He's a couple ahead of Trovin Valdez now. Trovin right behind him. The Keys have some speed, and the Orioles have some speed, and the Keys most of the benefit. There's Rolando, and the big jump. He got a terrific jump, and a nice shot from third base side. Raul Rodarte couldn't hold on to that ball, but I think Rolando would have been safe nonetheless.
Avila at third. Garcia aboard at first. Still 2 outs, and Harry Berrios is the batter. Berrios has hit a lot better lately with runners in scoring position. Took him a long while to get his first RBI, first base hit in these situations.
Harry struggled, and Bowie came down to Frederick and has struggled and seems to be coming out of it just at the right time. We're in August. Now's the time to do it.
Fouls it back. 1 ball and 1 strike to Berrios. He struck out in the first inning. Berrios 1 for 5 in the series. It's been successful out of the leadoff spot, batting over 300.
He's another speedster for this Keys team.
Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Berrios has hit safely in 8 of the last 9 games he's played in.
Sorry, when you get Rolando on base or Harry Berrios or even Trovin Valdez, who was done with a suspension after tonight, then you've got a good chance to work things with so much speed on the base paths.
Berrios nearly hit on that last pitch. 3 balls and 1 strike. Should get something good to hit here. David Lamb is on deck. See if Garcia runs on this pitch with a 3-1 count and 2 outs in the inning.
Good hitter's pitch right here.
Hartzog back to first, thinking the same thing. Jesse on the year, just 2 steals in 8 attempts. That's pretty good speed, however. Garcia does not run. It's ball 4. So the bases are now full. David Lamb, who singled in the first inning, comes up to the plate. There's Berrios at first. Avila at third. And Jesse Garcia is the middleman on at second base. Now Harry Berrios at first.
Lamb not hitting especially well with runners in scoring position, but he does have 22 runs driven in, although hitting just at 153. David coming out of his slump. We talked about it earlier. Now he's got a chance to break it open for the Keys. Try to break that tie.
Lamb with an RBI in game 1. Trying to do the same right now. The base is loaded against Cullen Hartzog. Check swing. And a ball 1 to David Lamb. Upstairs, 2-0 to Lamb. No room on the bases.
Might as well work Hartzog here, and Marcus Hanel goes out to have a word with him. David Lamb has been more patient at the plate. He singled in the first inning, and there's Marcus Hanel, who pitched in this with the Salem last year, now with his ball club. It was a Red Sox last year. Raul Rodarte, the third baseman, who was back there behind Cullen Hartzog, a member of the Peninsula Pilots a couple of years back. So a lot of veterans on this ball club. There's Marcus. Started the year in Carolina, Double-A.
2-0 pitch is lined to right field and a base hit. Scoring is Avila. Around third, headed to the plate, Jesse Garcia. The throw comes into second, and the Keys have a 3-1 lead. 2 RBI single by David Lamb. Down to second base goes Harry Berrios.
And with 2 outs, the Keys are doing it to the Hillcats. They did it to the Keys last game, just over the head of Eddie Brooks. A solid single by David Lamb, and I think it's official. David Lamb is out of his slump. Throw it from Charles Peterson, and Barrios had to hold at second base.
9 hits in his last 23 trips to the plate. Lamb 2 for 2 this evening. Number 3 hitter in the lineup, Roy Hodge, is at the plate. He struck out in the first. Good save by the catcher, Marcus Hanel. Lamb now with 29 runs batted in. 3 in the doubleheader.
Right-hander Jason Paff warming up in the bullpen for the Lynchburg Hillcats. He has just gotten up.
There's a strike on the outside part of the plate. There you see Paff warming up in the Hillcats bullpen.
Some boos from the fans there. Roy Hodge wasn't too happy about that strike and may have had good reason. Looked a little low and away. There's Roy.
Roy from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands.
Sounds like a nice place to grow up.
Yeah. Says it's hotter here in Maryland than it is in St. Thomas. Roy fouls it back, 1-2. This is his 3rd season with the Frederick Keys. Last year batted .289. Kind of a breakthrough year. He was drafted in 1990. Got him. Strike 3 called, and Hodge goes down, but not before the Keys get 3 runs. The last 2 on the 2-run single by David Lamb. And at the end of 2, it's now Frederick 3 and Lynchburg 1. Quixote and the fans here at Harry Grove Stadium have reason to celebrate as the Keys scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning and now have a 2-run lead. For starting pitcher Jason Rogers. Quixote signing autographs. Back to the top of the order for the Hillcats in the 3rd inning. Matt Noble and Ron Weber.
Ron's the voice of the Washington Capitals there on the right. And Matt Noble, of course, the voice of the Keys. He's been with the Keys for several years, working with Matt Hicks the last couple of years. He gets his own show this year. He's doing a fine job, and I can attest to that.
There's Mrs. Jason Rogers.
It's Melissa talking some strategy, no doubt. That is our fan club president. And that's Carlos Chavez's wife, who just popped her head in there in the middle. Melissa, as well as going to school with Jason at the University of Nevada in Reno, she also worked there until coming here to Frederick to follow her husband this season. And I would say, although the slow start tonight, he certainly has a very good future ahead of him, the number 2 pick of the Baltimore Orioles.
Number 2 pick after Tommy Davis. Picked in the 2nd round.
There's a lot of talent on this ball club, and not that this year's over with by any means, but next year you can expect a lot of them back with 2 high A teams.
Very young team. Adrian Brown will lead it off in the top of the 3rd inning. Grounded out to short to begin the game. Brown 1 hit in 6 trips in the doubleheader. Rogers has to feel good after getting out of that 2nd inning where he had the bases loaded and nobody out. Chris Kurgan snared a line drive and touched the bag to get a double play. Only 1 run allowed by Rogers in that inning. Now he's up by 2, 3-1.
Yeah, he can breathe a little bit easier. He's got the 2-run lead.
Rounded to Jesse Garcia. Took a wild hop. Garcia stays with it and throws to Kurgan for the out. Good play by Jesse to stick with it. See that ball took kind of a wild hop.
Now let's see where that what went wrong on that ball. I think Jesse was playing back, waiting for it, hop, and it took an extra hop. The first hop on the grass was the tough one. He thought it was going to come up, and it didn't. And he gets Brown by a step.
So 1 out in the top of the 3rd. Raul Rodarte is the batter. He's 0 for 1. Popped out to the 3rd baseman Davis in the 1st. To bunt, he takes a strike.
The Carolina League Star of Stars, as given by House Sports Data, awarded by House Sports Data, the league statistician. He was the MVP of the Carolina League All-Star game this year. Had a home run in his own ballpark. And Raul has had some time in Double-A. He played for Mark Hill, the manager of the Hillcats. He played for him in Jacksonville in the Southern League. They were a Mariners affiliate. Also, of course, played with them in Peninsula back in 91 and 92.
And a ball on the appeal play. See the base umpire, Jerry Lloyd.
Second year in the league for Jerry Lloyd. He hails from Oswego, New York.
Ooh, 1-2. Big rip by Rodarte. Healthy cut. He hit that one a long way.
Rodarte was trying to make up all 3 runs on that swing.
Unfortunately, nobody on base. That pitch just missed, so the count is even at 2-2. Jason Rogers making his 5th start against Lynchburg. He's 1-0 with a 6.19 ERA coming into this game. Up the middle, David Lamb with a nifty play, a throw, and off the bag is Kurgan. So safe at first is Raul Rodarte.
I don't know if Chris was out of position to begin with or he had to come off the bag to make that play. We're going to take a look right here. But Chris went back to touch the bag. David Lamb, great range here from the outfield grass. And Kurgan, again, I don't know if he was out of position, but he would have had to come off the bag anyway to make that play. That was way off the bag. So it should be a base hit. Yeah, that is. That's the second. Well, actually, wait a minute. I think they're still deciding it because they have only 2 hits up on the board, Jeff. So
that's one they may have to think about in a while.
Yeah.
And Rodarte aboard with 1 out. Pitch way outside from Jason Rogers. And Charles Peterson is the batter. He popped out in the first inning.
Well, if I'm scoring, I give him a hit on that. Look where David Lamb made the play. It was from behind second base.
Lamb had to cover a lot of ground to get to that. And had to hurry the throw. 2-0 to Charles Peterson. Upstairs again.
Well, it looks like they're going to give David Lamb an error on that. And again, if I'm scoring, I don't agree with that one. That's a tough error.
Lamb, a very good defensive shortstop. Made a nice play to get to that ball, but off ball to throw. It'll drop into right field. Around second, headed to third is Rodarte. Peterson cruising into second. Having trouble in the corner is Hodge, and around to score is Rodarte. And all the way to third base, Charles Peterson. Cut the lead to 1. And Rodarte scores.
Rodarte came home easily on that ball, and a little bit far for us to see, but it looked like Roy Hodge had a little trouble digging that one out of the corner. We're going to take a look now. As it just, Roy overran it, and it's wet out there, so he slides, and now he's got to run after it again. That allowed Raul Rodarte to score.
And he slips down in the corner. All kinds of problems out there in that right field corner.
Yeah.
Now O'Berry out to the mound, and it looks like he's going to make a change. Matt Marenghi is going to come into the game for the Frederick Keys in relief of Jason Rogers, who leaves after pitching 2 1/3 innings, plus 2 batters. He gave up 2 runs, and Charles Peterson, who is at third base, will be his responsibility. As you see, Roy Hodge had a little bit of trouble out in the right field corner on that last play. It'll be Matt Marenghi out of the bullpen, making his 6th appearance. Marenghi has had success out of the pen. Overall in the year, Marenghi with a 2-9 record. His ERA is even at 5 runs per game. With Matt Marenghi taking over for Jason Rogers, it's time for our Frederick Gas call to the bullpen. Remember, Frederick Gas, your best energy value. Marenghi will be making his 22nd appearance of the year. As I said, his 6th in relief. He's pitched 95 1/3 innings, allowed 90 base hits, 53 earned runs. He's given up 13 home runs, walked 37 and struck out 71. Opponents are batting .257 against Matt Marenghi. His Las Vegas, Nevada. So both the Keys pitchers tonight from the state of Nevada. Jason Rogers from Reno and Marenghi from Las Vegas.
Marenghi out of Stanford, and the newest Keys pitcher, Jason LaRocca, also went to Stanford. We will see him. Well, he is in uniform tonight. We haven't seen him yet in action. He joined the team yesterday from High Desert. I was just checking on the scoring, and to recap a little bit, Nabla in the second inning, it was an error by Tommy Davis all the way. Not a single in an error, but an error by Tommy Davis to allow Jay Nabla to score. Of course, Jay Nabla hit that home run in the first game, and with the Bugs here joining the fray, there's Jay Nabla going deep, and that turned out to be the game winner with 2 outs and 2 on. It was a 3-run home run. The Keys could not come back from it. And we are back to live action, apparently. And that is rain. Those are not bugs falling from the sky. It is, in fact, raining out here, and this is the weather we expected. Rodarte reaches E. Lamb, and then Peterson's ball, a triple all the way, Jeff.
So runner at third base, 1 out, the infield up. All 4 infielders near or on the grass. Matt Marenghi is the new pitcher. Charles Peterson at third. Only 1 out, so the tie run is 90 feet away. Nabla hits a drive to deep center field. Avila has a play on it. Makes the catch, tagging and coming towards the plate is Peterson. The throw is late. And it's a tie game, 3-3. Good throw by Rollo, though. Deep center field.
That's an incredible throw. You're not going to see too many players ever make that play, but Rolando Avila made it close. Nabla gets a hold of one again, and it'll go as a sacrifice fly to tie up the ball game, but Rolando sets himself up, so he's coming forward to make the play. His momentum brings him forward. Nice camera shots. And a beautiful throw to Jim Foster, and Charles Peterson, who's got some speed, just got in there in time. That is a run charge to Jason Rogers, so he allows 3 runs. That's the only one that's earned.
So it's 3-3, and Lou Collier is the batter with nobody on and a strike. Hillcats got 1 in the second, 2 here in the third. Keys got all 3 of their runs in the bottom of the second inning. So we're deadlocked. A lot of action in this doubleheader tonight. Collier takes for ball 2. He had a base hit, a bunt single in the second inning. Steady rain. Not very heavy, though. Only a few umbrellas out. Fouled off. Jay Nabla, who had that sac fly, is his 5th RBI of the night. 35 on the year.
Pretty good series for him thus far. You know, the rain, certainly we don't want to lose the ball game because of it, but this area needs it badly, especially this field. The infield is hard as a rock.
Well, as long as it waits to rain hard after 5 innings and the Keys get the lead, I guess it's okay. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Lou Collier.
If we could arrange that, we'd be in heaven.
See some of the wet spots. Off-speed pitch, strike 3. So Marenghi comes in and does the job. He gets both batters he faces, but Lynchburg gets 2 to tie. At the end of 2.5, it's now 3-3. There you see the steady rain falling. Some of the fans take cover. 3-3. Keys looking to get some more runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Jason Rogers started the game, gave up 3 runs, and none of them earned.
No, actually, I thought Peterson's was an earned run, but the sac fly by Nabla would have just been a fly out, reconstructing the inning, thus 3 outs. So nothing earned for Jason Rogers, although I'm sure he's not too happy with his outing after the 1st inning.
Rogers a little rusty. He's only pitched once in the last 3 weeks, and that was out of the bullpen.
Jason Papp is now in the ball game for the Lynchburg Hillcats. Thought for a moment Cullen Hartzog put on some sleeves, but it's going to be Paff, who's 4 and 5 and a 3.30 to make his 28th appearance of the year. It'll be his 19th relief appearance, and 87 and a third. He has allowed 85 hits, 45 runs, 32 earned, 20 walks, 70 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .250 against him.
Jim Foster will lead it off in the bottom of the third. Foster lined out to left his first appearance. Third baseman Rodarte can't make the play, and Jim Foster is aboard.
Hopefully on a hit, and it is a base hit. Raul Rodarte charging, and perhaps ball slipping out of his fingers there.
Jim Foster aboard at first base.
There's Raul's not too happy with himself.
Tommy Davis, the batter. Davis had to turn out of the way of that pitch. 3-3 here in the bottom of the third inning. Hartzog pitched just 2 innings, allowed 5 hits and 3 runs. Line drive, foul. Just missed a base hit by a few feet, did Tommy Davis. And with Jason Poff into the game, it's time for the Frederick Gas call to the bullpen. Remember, Frederick Gas, your best energy value.
6'2", 215-pounder out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
High fly ball to center field. Adrian Brown makes the catch in medium center. That's out number 1 here in the third. So Davis is retired for the second time tonight. That'll bring up Jason LaCronier. LaCronier had a double and scored the Keys' first run last inning.
Looks like the rain is holding off a little bit.
LaCronier has hit safely in 8 of the last 9 games he's played in. Gets away from the catcher Hanel, but he got the ball back quickly. Jim Foster is at first with 1 out. You see Marcus Hanel, the catcher, catching both ends of the doubleheader. Outside corner for a strike. 1-1 is the count.
Paff hasn't had too much success against the Keys either. He is 1-0, but with a 4.32 earned run average. Keys are hitting .262 against him. He has started 2 of 4 games coming into tonight's action.
Back to first. Safe is Jim Foster. Paff last pitched on Thursday night against Kinston. Worked 3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs. No walks and 1 strikeout. Rounded foul. It'll reach the Keys dugout. So LaCronier behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jason Poff on the mound. In relief of Cullen Hartzog. Just a slight drizzle here at Harry Grove Stadium. And a line drive to the gap in left center. Sechrist running after the ball, can't get it. Headed to third base is Foster, and into second with a 2-bagger is Jason LaCronier, who's got 2 doubles in this game.
Sechrist got a nice hop off the wall, and Foster had to hold at third base as the throw came into Luke Collier. Let's take a look again. Hartzog did it. Paff does it here. Hung it up high to Jason LaCronier. This time he goes the opposite way. We've seen him hit home runs that way. And Reed Sechrist playing it out Citizens Bank sign. It's about a foot off the top of the sign, and Reed after it quickly. Picks up a double. Foster in at third, and the Keys have it going here with just 1 out.
LaCronier at second base with his second double of this game, and that'll bring up Chris Kurgan. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the inning. Kurgan swings and misses. Chris grounded out to second last inning, but advanced LaCronier to third.
Kurgan 5 home runs, 36 runs batted in with runners in scoring position. Up against the right-hander.
Way outside. Evens the count at 1-1.
Looks like the rain has picked up a little bit, Jeff.
Kurgan has only knocked in 4 runs in the last 22 games. Has a chance to drive in 2 right here. Outside once again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Left-handed swinger Chris Kurgan, who stands 6'4", 225 pounds. 22 years of age from Littleton, Colorado. A line drive to center. Adrian Brown coming on. Makes the catch. Tagging at third is Foster. He's digging for the plate. The throw is short. And Jim Foster scores the go-ahead run. And alertly running to third base is Jason Lacronier. The Keys have regained the lead.
Yeah, Lacronier went right to third. Look at Kurgan going out for that ball. Slider down low, and Brown trying to do it. Rolando Avila, in fact, tried. And Lacronier on second. He takes off when he sees that ball go over his head. And Jim Foster's going to score. As you said, the throw came up towards the pitcher's mound a little bit. There's Jim Foster home and with a go-ahead run.
Lacronier is at third base. There's still a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and the Keys have a 4-3 lead. Avila, line drive, down the line, fair ball. Scoring easily is Jason Lacronier. Avila headed for second base, and he'll hold there with his second 2-bagger of the game. And second run batted in for Avila. The Keys are hot, 5-3.
Rolando with his 8th double of the season. Right down the third base line. Too quick for Raul Rodarte and easily scoring from third base, Jason Lacronier. The Keys now with 7 hits, 4 doubles tonight. 2 by Lacronier, 2 by Avila. And it did take Reed Sechrist a little while to get it out there, but that's a stand-up double all the way. There's Rolo.
This is kind of reminiscent of Thursday night when the Keys had 11 base hits, 7 of them for extra bases. The 10-4 victory over Durham. Jesse Garcia, the second baseman. He walked and scored last inning.
And Rolando didn't waste any time. He's seen 2 pitches tonight. He's knocked them both for doubles.
Still 2 outs. Runner in scoring position. Avila headed for third. It gets away from the catcher. Rolo dives safely into third. Had he stood up, he may have tried to come home.
He gets a stolen base there, and you got to wonder if Hannah was thinking standing up and going to third on that play, or did the ball get away from him because of the wet ball? And we'll see the other end of it. Rolando, another fine jump to third.
Stolen base number 14, number 2 tonight. 2 balls, no strikes to Jesse Garcia. Ground ball to the right side. Brooks, the second baseman, throws out Jesse Garcia. And finally, the Hillcats retire the Keys, but not before they score 2 runs and take the lead. At the end of 3, it's the Keys 5 and the Hillcats 3. Still raining here at Harry Grove Stadium, and it's raining runs as well. 5-3 after 3 innings. The Keys have the lead. That was the same score the Hillcats defeated the Keys by in Game 1. Now we'll check on the farm with the Orioles AAA affiliate of the International League, the Rochester Red Wings. They've won 5 straight, and 8 of their last 9. They're in first place in the East Division. Former Frederick Keys player Brad Tyler leads the team with 15 home runs. And a former Keys pitcher, Jim Dietrich, 4-0 with a 1.79 ERA. Now back to live action. The Hillcats coming up in the 4th inning. They trail by 2 runs. Quixote under cover, staying out of the rain. Doesn't want to get that fur wet.
It's coming down pretty good right now.
Still just a few umbrellas out. It's a good gauge to tell how heavy the rain is. Reed Sechrist takes the pitch inside from Matt Marenghi. Now Marenghi would stand to be the winning pitcher.
Yeah, you got Jason Rogers off the hook.
Sechrist walked in the 2nd inning. Swings and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Paff is now the pitcher of record for the Lynchburg Hillcats as well. So both teams gone to the bullpen.
A line drive to right center. Avila trying to run it down, and what a catch! Rolando with an outstanding grab in right center field.
That's a fantastic play by Rolando. He's got 2 doubles tonight. He's stolen 2 bases. You know he's got to be tired. Shaking his head there, and Reed Sechrist can't buy a hit. Oh, I can't wait to see the back end of this play. Look at Rolando moving over into the gap. Used every bit of his, was he 5'9" frame? 5'8". He was about 5'9" or 6 feet right there on that leap.
Talked about Rolo's strength. He's trying to go for that Gold's Gym player of the game. A blast by Brooks to deep left. Lacronier back, and he makes the catch on the warning track. 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Great play by Lacronier. That's a situation where you know the ball's hit over your head. You run right to the place where you think it's going to land. He turned around, and he was lucky he had room on the warning track to make that play. And Marenghi has given up a bundle of home runs. He has given up 13, 2 behind Maduro.
Ken Bonifay is the due batter. He's a left-handed swinger. Now finally comes out of the dugout. Bonifay is the guy who hit the line drive to Kurgan with the bases loaded in the 2nd. Probably the biggest defensive play of the game so far, because they had the bases jammed with no outs. Had that gotten past Kurgan, 2 or 3 runs would have scored. Kurgan made the catch, touched the bag, and got a DP. They only got 1 run that inning. Had their chance for a big inning. 1 strike is the count from Marenghi to Bonifay. 2 outs here in the 4th, and Bonifay steps out. Oh, and 2 now.
Good looking curve from Matt Marenghi. Show a lot of confidence to come back and throw that pitch. With an 0-1, you can.
He missed there. Bonifay hitting just below 300 on the road. Speed pitch misses outside.
Yeah, that one slipped. Saw Rogers do that in the beginning of the ball game.
Ground ball foul down the first base side. Travels out to the Keys bullpen.
It was Tony Nieto out there.
Giving a souvenir to a fan. Is Tony? 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ken Bonifay with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Hillcats pull the Keys by 2. Strike 3. And Marenghi gets his 2nd strikeout and gets the Hillcats 1-2-3 in the 4th. We head to the bottom of the inning, and the Keys lead it 5-3. Head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Harry Grove Stadium. A steady rain continues to fall. The umbrellas are out as the Keys lead it 5-3. 8 runs already in the game. Exciting action.
Talk about
upcoming games on Cable 10. A few more left in the month of August on the 15th and 16th. Wilmington will be in town. Double headers both of those nights. Well, on the 15th, we'll complete a suspended game and play another ball game, the regularly scheduled, and then on the 16th, a doubleheader. Then on the 19th of the month, the Kinston Indians, the team with the best overall record in the Carolina League, will be in town. And then we'll round out our Cable 10 broadcasting of Keys baseball on the 29th and 30th as the Prince William Cannons will be here at Harry Grove Stadium. Here you see the raindrops falling, but Looks heavy, but from the number of people, the lack of number of people with umbrellas up, doesn't appear to be raining too heavily. Harry Berrios, 0 for 1 in the game. He struck out and hit by a pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike to Harry. He's designated hitter in game 2. Played right field in the first game. Rounds it up the middle. Collier can't get to it. It's into center field. Hit number 8 on the board for the Frederick Keys.
Berrios keeps it up. Second time on base tonight. He had that walk in the second inning. I'm to chat with Ken Bonifay. Here it is. Pitch right out over the middle of the plate. A fastball. And he bounces it just past Collier. Waved at it.
Keys have had at least 1 hit in every inning. Berrios has the 1 hit in this inning. They had 3 in each of the second and third innings and 1 in the first.
Second time they've had the leadoff man on. The other time was last inning. They scored 2 runs.
David Lamb, the batter, is 2 for 2 tonight, both singles, and has driven in 2 of the Keys' 5 runs. Berrios has good speed, 8 steals in 13 attempts for Frederick.
Yeah, he certainly is a threat to go.
Back to first once again, and Berrios back safely. Harry had 56 steals last year, playing for Bowie, Frederick, and the Albany Polecats. Just missed outside. David Lamb, 9 hits in his last 23 trips to the plate. See the runner Berrios at first. Switch hitter David Lamb is the batter. Jason Paff is the pitcher. First baseman Bonifay holding with the runner. Third baseman Raul Rodarte is on the infield grass at third. Lamb takes a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Good look at David Lamb. Just turned 20, June the 6th. Back to first. Close play, but back safely is Harry Berrios.
This may be a good opportunity to send Berrios. The field is still not that wet. However, the ball may be on the pitch to Marcus Hannah. So the exchange could be difficult. Lamb's going to have to take a few pitches, and there's the pitch out.
Pitch out, but Berrios was not running. Catch Harry leaning a little bit. There goes Berrios. Strike 3. A foul tip.
No, I think that just may have been strike 2. And David made sure he got out of the way of that pitch. He didn't want to get called for interference because Berrios was going.
Berrios is at second base with a stolen base, number 9.
Third one for the Keys tonight.
You see Harry. 2 balls and 2 strikes to David Lamb. An opportunity to drive in a run for Lamb, who has 2 runs batted in already in this game. Outside, count is full. First base is open. Roy Hodge awaits on deck. No outs in the bottom of the 4th. Ball 4, David Lamb is aboard.
Great at bat by David Lamb. Again, he's patient at the plate. And that has helped him. He's on base for the 3rd time tonight. Now the Keys are adding to the advantage when they put the leadoff man on.
We'll bring up Roy Hodge, the number 3 hitter in the lineup. Hodge has struck out both times tonight. This will be his first appearance against Jason Pop. Meat of the order coming up. Foster on deck, and then Tommy Davis. Still nobody out. Rodarte has a few words with the pitcher.
Roy doesn't look too happy. He's K'd twice tonight. He's standing here in the rain. He's got the meeting at the mound. He wants to get going.
Joe for 6 in the doubleheader, looking for his first hit of the night. Play on at second, but no throw. Hodge batted .300 at High Desert, 3 home runs and 15 runs knocked in before joining the Keys on July the 12th. Really added a spark to this team. Looks to bunt, lays it down, and it'll roll foul. Bonifay plays it. Hodge batting .350 with runners in scoring position.
I really didn't think they'd have Hodge bunting here, up 2 runs, but number 3 guy here in the order. Roy Hodge, good hitter. We've got Foster coming up next.
Well, Mike O'Berry managing this game, as it's very important. Since these two teams are just separated by 1 game, we saw the pitching change. Marenghi coming in for Rogers, who didn't allow any earned runs early in the contest in the 3rd inning. Now your number 3 hitter bunting with no outs and 2 on. Trying to bunt again is Hodge. Every game is important here on out.
Well, if he puts it down the third base line, then he's done his job, because Rodarte is going to have to come in from third and give Foster an opportunity with runners on second at third. Now Rodarte is going to come in and have a word with Paff. And also, the grass could be slick because of the rain. I don't think the infield is. I think the infield's still very dry, but the grass could be a little slick, so another good opportunity to bunt successfully.
Runners go. It's grounded foul.
And Rodarte came in, and O'Berry took off the bunt play. Now with 1 and 2, Hodge will swing away here.
Rodarte again is in to talk to Paff. Now heads back to his position at third base. There you see the Key skipper.
Raul was flashing defensive signs as he was making his way back to the bag. See where he goes here.
Hodge takes the pitch inside. The count is even at 2 and 2. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 4th. 5 runs, 8 base hits for the Frederick Keys. 3 runs and just 2 hits for Lynchburg.
Rodarte playing in on the grass. I can't imagine Hodge is going to bunt with a 2-2.
The throw back to second as Barrios is back to the bag. David Lamb is aboard at first. He walked. Outside, the count is full. Very important game here tonight for the Keys, Kevin, because Wilmington is leading.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Keys. In the 6th inning, they're leading Kinston at Kinston. They're the top team in the entire Carolina League, as you said, best overall record. So yeah, this makes it even more important now.
Keys have already lost a half game. They're 6.5 off the pace. Lynchburg is 5.5 games back.
We talked about at the end of our first broadcast, though, they do have 8 games against Wilmington coming up. They just want to get themselves in a better situation.
Runners go on the 3-2 pitch. It's ball 4. The sacks are full. Paff is in trouble. The base is loaded and nobody out. You see Roy Hodge at first. He just drew a walk. David Lamb is at second. He also walked. Harry Barrios had a base hit. Is at third base. They're full for the cleanup hitter in the lineup, Jim Foster.
Nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Hillcats, so this is Paff's game right now with nobody out, and this is a little bit of the struggle that Jason Rogers went through earlier.
Foster's knocked in 39 runs on the year. He grounds it foul. 4 home runs for the Keys catcher.
He's got great numbers with runners in scoring position, too.
358. This kind of situation. 2 home runs and 34 of his 39 runs batted in. Jim Foster and the Keys with a golden opportunity right now in the bottom of the fourth with no outs. Ground ball up the middle. Brooks gloves it, touches the bag for one, the throw to first. Double play, but Harry Barrios comes home to score. No RBI for Jim Foster because of the double play.
Well, that was a big break for the Lynchburg Hillcats. Keys able to add an insurance run here early. Let's take a look at it. Just out of the reach of Jason Paff, just missed getting his glove on that ball. Nice backhanded play by the second baseman, Eddie Brooks, and plenty of time to get Foster.
Barrios scores run number 6. The Keys lead by 3. Tommy Davis is the batter. Down to third base on that play is David Lamb. Pitch is inside for a ball, and remember, this is just a 7-inning game. Keys and the Hillcats completed last night's suspended game, which was a 9-inning contest.
Which is why Hodge was bunting in that situation also. So I just knocked myself on the head there.
This is like the 6th inning, I guess.
Yeah, it's late in the ball game, and that kind of slipped my mind there. Because that first game went so quickly, the end of that first game.
Healthy cut by Davis, couldn't catch up with it. 1-2 to Tommy. 2 outs and a runner at third base in the bottom of the 4th inning. Davis, the team leader in runs batted in. 0 for 2 tonight. Good save by the catcher, Marcus Hanel.
Yeah, that's when you see how good a catcher is with a runner on third base. How good of a defensive catcher you are to stop those balls. And that one got away from Jason Paff, but not from Marcus Hanel.
Inside, the count is full. First base is open. Tommy Davis, as a junior in Southern Mississippi, batted .409. Set a Golden Eagles single season record. That high batting average. Also scored 81 runs at a .750 slugging percentage. He grounded foul down the third baseway. That slugging percentage, the second best in school history. 3 years at USM, he batted .364. Look at the pitcher, Paff. 43 home runs, 204 runs batted in for Tommy Davis in college. Played in the Cape Cod League in 1993. Made an impressive adjustment to the wooden bat. 3-2 pitch. Grounded towards third baseman Rodarte. Can't make the play. Scoring is Lamb. Davis is aboard at first base, and the Keys have a 7-3 lead now.
And they'll give Rodarte an error on that ball. Slow roller that Rodarte seemed to have overran. Let's take a look again. Tommy didn't get all of it, got jammed. Swinging down to the ball, and there's Raul, Raul, who overruns it. And Collier watches it and then goes to retrieve it. So the Keys pick up another.
The hot-hitting Jason LaCronier to the plate. He's 2 for 2. Both doubles and 2 runs scored. Strike one. 2 outs and Tommy Davis at first. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Keys have a 4-run lead. And only 3 innings left to play.
Not a pretty ball game defensively. Haven't finished 4. We've got 3 errors. 2 for the Keys, 1 for the Hillcats.
All of the Hillcats runs unearned. A line drive to the gap in right center and a base hit. Tommy Davis around second, headed for third. LaCronier digging for 2. Now Davis being waved on. LaCronier stopped. He'll have to go back to second, but Davis scores run number 8.
Third double for Jason LaCronier, who was so close to having a triple out of that ball. He ripped that one.
Things happen in threes. He said, hey, I want to get my 3rd double.
Here's LaCronier, first pitch. Smacks it into the gap. He pulled this one. LaCronier went opposite way in the 3rd inning. Rolled all the way to the wall, and LaCronier put on the burners, but had to hold at second base. And the Keys got the leadoff man on in this inning. They have scored 3 runs. So Lynchburg playing from behind.
Gronier now with 4 doubles on the year for the Frederick Keys. This is just his 12th game. Hit safely in 8 out of the last 9 games.
And one of the top pitchers in the Carolina League from a couple of years ago, Joe Caruso, a former Lynchburg Red Sox, is warming up. There he is, number 37. Down to the bullpen, Caruso signed as a free agent. And he gets another chance with this ball club.
Kurgan fouls off the first pitch from Paff. Well, Hartzog started, pitched 2 innings. Gave up the first 3 Keys runs. Paff has given up 5. Kurgan 0 for 1 with a sac fly. Break in the action.
You're going to have a tough time picking that Gold's Gym player of the game. With Gronier 3 doubles, Avila with a couple.
A lot of heroes so far here tonight for the Keys. No balls and 2 strikes to Chris Kurgan. Gronier is a 1995 draft pick out of McNeese State, picked in the 17th round by the Orioles. 3 home runs in the last 5 games. Just 3 two-baggers in this game.
And the Keys have set a season high tonight with their 5th double of the season. They had 4 doubles on 6 previous occasions.
Kurgan grounds it to the right side. First baseman Bonifay tosses to Paff for the 3rd out. Not before the Keys get 3 more runs. At the end of 4, the Keys lead by 5. Welcome back. Tonight's Frederick Keys baseball telecast is a copywritten presentation of Frederick Cablevision Incorporated and is presented for the enjoyment of our viewers in Frederick County, Maryland and Jefferson County, West Virginia. Any use of this program without the written permission of Frederick Cablevision is a violation of copyright laws and is strictly prohibited. Matt Marenghi has retired all 5 batters he has faced and now has a 5-run cushion as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Those guys, the Lynchburg Hillcats, need some runs in a hurry. It'll be Marcus Handel to lead it off, and then back to the top of the order with Adrian Brown and Raul Rodarte. The umbrella's still out here at the Grove as the rain continues to fall. The field doesn't look too bad.
We talked about Matt Marenghi's effectiveness out of the bullpen while he was warming up. We're seeing it now. Some of the folks taking off. Keys with a 5-run lead. I won't be too comfortable, though. Not with this 270 batting average, team batting average. Quite a slugging ball club is this Lynchburg Hillcats team.
Looks like we have a pinch hitter now. John Canetto just joined the team 2 days ago from Erie of the New York Penn League. He'll bat for Marcus Handel.
They have a new ballpark up in Erie after several years.
And a strike 1 from Matt Marenghi. He's been perfect so far. Inning and 2/3, 2 strikeouts. Only 2 hits on the board for the Hillcats. Lead the Carolina League with a team batting average of 270. Off-speed pitch misses.
They got rid of old Sal Magley Stadium and had a right field of about 285 feet in Erie. Built a beautiful new ballpark.
There's another strike, 1 and 2 from Marenghi.
Back a little trivia for you, Jeff. That is where the first Florida Marlins game, organizational game, ever took place with the Erie Marlins a couple of years back. First game ever in their organization. They packed the place.
And a strikeout for Matt Marenghi, number 3. His 2nd straight K. He's retired all 6 batters now. Back to the top of the order, and Adrian Brown, who's 0 for 2. Brown has grounded out both times. Wants to short and wants to second. Switch hitter is Brown. He'll bat left-handed. Called strike. This is his first plate appearance against Matt Marenghi. First time he's bat left-handed in this game. Marenghi quickly ahead, 0 and 2.
Pretty steady drizzle now. And Take a look at our camera folks. They're just getting soaked out there.
Keys need just 2 more outs, and this game is official. Same time, the weather was threatening last night. It was suspended in the bottom of the 5th. And a strike 3. 2 quick outs, both on K's. Marenghi has struck out the last 3 batters he's faced. See a wet cameraman. Branson Haggerty.
We got to get Branson a bag or a. Well, Melinda came prepared. Melinda Cohen over there, and that's the best seat in the house. Is that Will out there? All right.
It's Will the Thrill out there in center field. He's covered. He's well covered.
We're all set in here, too.
Darte is the batter with 2 outs in the 5th. Rounds at the 3rd. Davis plays the high hopper and throws wildly to Kurgan. Tried to make the tag, but Rodarte is called safe.
Nice dance step by Raul Rodarte to get away from that. And Chris Kurgan just applying the tag because Rodarte stepped inside the first baseline, but he didn't make a definitive move to second. Let's take a look at it again. Tommy had some time here, but he took a little too much time. High throw, and watch the dance step. Not bad by Raul Rodarte.
Pretty good move there. He's on at first base. An error charge to Tommy Davis, his 2nd of the night, both on throws. The Hillcats still alive. They trail by 5 runs with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Charles Peterson is the batter. He's popped out and tripled and scored. The runner goes. Foster throws down to second and in with a stolen base is Raul Rodarte, number 19 on the year.
I had no idea he had that much speed.
19 steals in 31 attempts.
That's their first one of the game. It's a wet ball, and perhaps they're going right after Jim Foster to see if he can handle it. Tommy Davis threw a little bit high there. May not have been the ball in that case, but now it's coming down a lot harder.
He's need just 1 out for this to be a complete game, an official game.
They're going to do everything they can to get this out here. Matt Marenghi wants to get going. He's set.
2 balls and no strikes to Charles Peterson. Marenghi eyes the runner at second, and there's a strike. 2 teams wrap up the series tomorrow afternoon, beginning at 4:05. The Keys go on the road to Salem for 4 and to Lynchburg for 3. Runner headed to 3rd. A fly ball to center field. Playable for Avila. He makes the catch. This is an official game now, as losing team and visiting team has batted 5 times. At the end of 4 1/2, it continues. Frederick 8, Lynchburg 3. A lot of water falling from the sky. It's a live shot from Harry Grove Stadium. The Keys leading Lynchburg 8-3. The Keys have rained down a lot of runs on this Hillcat staff, and they have a new pitcher in the game. Joe Caruso will take over for Jason Paff.
Good look at the truck stop. And Coyote, Joe Caruso, 6'3", 195-pounder. He is 24 years old, out of Brooklyn, lives in Lynchburg now. And in 1992, he was the top pitcher in the Carolina League Pitcher of the Year, as our pitcher's mound is getting groomed with some drying compound there. Joe Caruso in 1992, and that's one way to shade your head from the rain. 6-4, 1.98 earned run average. And they're going to call the Lynchburg Hillcats off the field as the rain has come down even harder. You can see some of it there. And we're going to get the tarp pulled out here at Harry Grove Stadium. So, Jeff, it is official. The Keys are leading, but now we're in a situation where we have to wait 30, 35 minutes for the rain to subside. And I think you saw the radar, and I did as well. The radar was about as green as that grass.
Doesn't look good. We have unfavorable weather conditions at the moment, with the Keys leading 8-3. We'll take this time out to go to a couple of commercial messages, and we'll be right back with more Keys baseball on Frederick Cable Channel 10. Tarp Crew is on the field here at Harry Grove Stadium. I'm Jeff Wachter, along with Kevin Heilbronner. We're in a rain delay right now with the Keys leading 8-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. The game is an official game. So if the rain does not subside and we're unable to continue this game, it would be official and the Keys would get a victory. In Game 1, Lynchburg defeated the Keys, and the Keys trying to get back on the winning track here in Game 2. A lot of scoring in this game for Frederick. Rolando Avila, 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles, a run scored and 2 runs batted in. Jason Lacronier, 3 for 3, all doubles and a couple of RBIs. David Lamb has 2 base hits in 2 official plate appearances and also has walked and scored a run and knocked in 2. So Kevin, just a lot of hitting for the Frederick Keys tonight, and a good thing because of the rain.
Yeah, they seemed to get it in right before the rains came. I took a look at the radar just a moment ago when we were in that break, and it looks like something that's going to be with us for a while, but they've got to get the tarp on, because if they lose the rest of tonight's game, they don't want to lose tomorrow's game.
Jason Rogers started for the Keys, pitched 2 1/3 innings, allowed 3 runs. They were all unearned. Matt Marenghi took over with 1 out in the 3rd. He's pitched 2 2/3 innings, hasn't allowed any base hits, and has struck out 4. So Matt Marenghi would stand to get the win as the Keys lead the Hillcats 8-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning, and we are involved in a rain delay. So right now we'll go to a documentary called Speed. It's about local race car drivers. We hope you enjoy it. We'll be back with an update later from Harry Grove Stadium.